It's your boy John Mike.
What up with you guys? You know who it is. It's your boy John Mike. I'm back again. I'm always back again. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I am. It's like I'm the bad version of the Terminator.
I'll be back.
So I'm here today doing a review on the World. They call it the Tuna Mini, like tuna fish, like tuna whatever. I don't know, but I've passed by this thing a million times, literally, on Amazon, and I've looked at it, and you kind of get the sense of what they're trying to copy. You know, the Arturia. They kind of try to see if they can copy that style. That's kind of what it looks like looking at the box. But here's something that's really hilarious to me. So like, if you look here on the box, they have two different controllers here, two totally different controllers on the box. And then they have a checkbox here for the Tuna Mini and the World Mini. And they just somebody took a Sharpie and just put a checkbox by Tuna Mini to let you know that it's the Tuna Mini. And they did the same thing for the side. They checked it there. So I guess, you know, that's bravo points for them for not, for being conservative and learning how to package their products to where they don't have to do multiple boxes for multiple different products. Let's just put both products on the, you know, box, and then let's just do a little check box. That'll work. You know what I'm saying? Never seen anything like that. So this thing lives in the $80 range, $79.99, $80 is what you're going to pay for this. So it's a little bit cheaper than what you would pay for the Arturia. You know, that's living in the $99 range. But so for, you know, what, $20 less, you can get the Tuna Mini by World. But we're going to see how it kind of stacks up. I have a feeling it's not going to really stack up, but we're going to see what it is. It doesn't come with any software or anything like that, but it just looks interesting. So let's get it out the box, you know, because we know it's the Tuna Mini. It's not the World Mini. Let's get it out the box and see what we can do with this thing.
I'll be back.
All right, so out the box, they give you a little setup guide, just a sheet of paper front and back. They actually have their email and Facebook, you know, name on there on a sticky note. Go figure. You got this, you know, the cable right there, and you got the controller itself. Now, before I jump to the controller itself, I thought this was funny. I was reading over the troubleshooting. They have a big troubleshooting list on the back of this, of like all of the things and the problems, a problem, a cause, and a solution, you know. And so, you know, they give you like some standard things. But one of the things down here, it says right here, drivers fail to install. And then it says computers got some problem with the USB port. It's just funny. But, you know, you shouldn't have to worry about installing any drivers unless you're on PC. Then you may be looking at some issues or what have you with that. But the controller itself actually looks pretty good. They got the little wood grain thing going on the side, kind of like the Arturia on both sides. You have a sustain pedal jack, which is cool. You got the USB port on the side. It's got the little sliders, which this is kind of funky looking. It almost looks like it's not that, but it almost looks like a LCD kind of screen, but I know that's not what it is, but that's the vibe it kind of has. It's like a little plastic kind of, you know, coating screen over the pitch bend and mod slider thing. The pads, they are interesting. It's not really, I guess they would work pretty cool, but they're small, first of all. They're not your big, you know, pads that you normally get, you know, normally are a little bit bigger than that, maybe about a little bit of a stretch on that. So you're not really getting a lot of finger room, but that's not, you know, not a big thing, major thing. But there's really no depth to them. That's probably the best way to describe these pads. They're shallow. So you might as well be tapping on the controller itself. Almost, it's not that much, it's maybe about that much travel room in there. So it's not satisfying for a controller with pads. You know, you expect it to be, you know, when you hit those pads to have that kind of satisfactory feel. To me, this is not really, I'd give it a 2 out of 5. You know what I mean? It's not really satisfactory. The sliders, I guess they're decent. You know, they're not stiff. They travel pretty. They got some resistance to them, but yet they're not too stiff. Knobs, they have the endless encoders, so they don't stop. They just turn endlessly. So some people like that. Some people don't. You know, I'm kind of indifferent about it. It just really depends on the controller. It doesn't really bother me, but they feel decent. They're endless. You have a shift button, octave button, and then you have a bank button for your pads, or I'm assuming it's either for the pads or it's probably for everything. You can bank everything 1 through 8. Then you can bank again, hit this button, go 9 through 16. So you have 16, basically gives you 16 sliders, 16 encoders, and 16 pads. But you just use the bank button to kind of switch through that. And once we get it plugged up, we'll kind of verify that is kind of a global thing, or if it's just a specific set. We'll see how that works or what have you. But other than that, as far as like advanced features, you just have the ability to change your MIDI channels. And that's pretty much all you're getting with this. Weight is good. Keys are small. They're smaller than what I'm used to with a lot of controllers, but they're all right. You know, I don't know. I felt better, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's get it plugged up and see what it can do.
I'll be back.
All right, pretty cool. It's playable. Very playable. You have the pads. Again, they feel kind of dissatisfying. I really don't have time to kind of map it. I didn't really sit down and like play around with the mapping to see how it works. But I'm pretty sure if you dropped it inside of like Ableton or something to that nature, you could easily map and program these knobs and these faders and stuff. I just didn't map them inside of Logic. But again, feels pretty good. The mod thing, again, there's really not an indicator or a way that you can really tell. That's the only thing I hate about sliders. Unless you got a light there, there's no real way of telling, you know, where you are in your space of modulation. The pitch bend is kind of funky. You know, it's kind of funky, but it's not horrible. It's playable. It's definitely playable. Keys feel good. So one of the things I'm really concerned about with this controller is mainly the price point versus the build quality and the longevity of it. Because when you read some of the reviews of people who bought this on like Amazon, it's kind of hit or miss. Some people love it. Some people say, yo, this is dope. This is amazing. But there's a lot of people that say that it has no longevity, you know, like after using it for a few months or a year or something to that extent, it just kind of gave out on them, or after a few weeks it just stopped working, you know, altogether. Keys stopped working, keys broke. So you can kind of take those with a grain of salt because everybody's individual experience is going to be different. I'm kind of neutral about it. But the other thing is with this particular product, at the price point it is at $80, I would expect for it to come with some sort of software, you know, Ableton, anything, you know. But I know this is Worlde and they're kind of a knockoff company. You know, they kind of knock off a lot of products and knock off a lot of MIDI controllers and just resell them at a cheaper price point, you know. So they really don't have a lot of, I'm pretty sure, obviously they don't have a lot of software partnerships with a lot of these companies. So they can't offer those things. So they just offer the controller as is. I would put this, if I was really picky about it, if I wanted to, you know, to determine what the price point of this should be, I would put it somewhere in the $35 to $45 range. If you're picking this up used, you're probably getting a really good deal on it if you're getting it at that price point. But I would not spend $80 of my own money on this controller, seeing as that it does not come with any sort of software. And the reviews on it aren't as good, and the customer support, from what I understand, is not that good either. So those are some things to kind of think about when you're talking about getting a controller like this. You know, this is an honest review. Out the box, it feels decent, feels good, feels like it would work. The pads are shallow. You know, it's cheap at its best, and that's what you. And the mantra is you get what you pay for. So you know, if you want to save a few bucks, you could get something like this. If software doesn't matter to you, if those things don't matter, if you're not going to be like bumping and throwing this thing around a lot, this may actually work good for you. But if you're really looking for something on a pro level, something that's really going to really work for you, I would suggest just spending 20 more bucks and actually getting the Arturia Midi Lab or one of those type keyboards that are kind of like this, because it's going to be worth it in the end, because of the software and all of the things that you get with it, versus not getting anything with this but just the controller itself for $80. There's a lot less cheaper options for mini micro keyboards that actually come with software, so I would check into some of those things versus this. All right, so that is my review, that is my thing. But if for some reason you look at this and you say, I want to get it, I think it's cool, I like your review. You explained it very well, and I think I want to take it and get it or what have you. There's an affiliate link down in the description of this video, also down in the comments where I always put it and pin it. Check it out down there. It helps support the channel, helps me keep this thing going, helps me keep buying keyboards and doing reviews like this. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit the like button, hit the share button, drop a comment below. Let me know how everything's been going in your life this week. And I try to comment and respond back to you guys, because we're like a family here. And for those who aren't a part of the family, hit the subscribe button so we can get you guys in the loop of what we're doing, and turn on notifications so you know the minute I drop a video. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. Holla at your boy.